Welcome back, guys, to the Seeing Red MMA podcast here. I am your host, Dustin. I know it's been a little bit since the last upload. We just had a week off from fights due to Memorial Day. Hope you guys had a great holiday. But we are back this weekend, June 3rd, UFC Vegas 74. Kai Kara France, number 3 flyweight, taking on Amir Albazi, number 7 flyweight. This is a big deal kind of for the flyweight division because it's been a while since we've had a flyweight main event that wasn't female fighters absolutely giving the sport a bad name. Jokes, I'm joking. But, I don't know if it's just me being deprived from MMA, especially the UFC, just being excited. Ultimate Fighter dropped last night. Today's Wednesday, the 31st. Co-main event, Alex Caceres, Daniel Pineda. I like that fight. I like both those guys. Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. Two vets of the game. I'm excited for that one. Tim Elliott versus Victor Alimentariano. If I said that wrong, I apologize. Karine Silva, Ketlin Souza, and Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Alessio dos Santos. However, too many names. I heard the Jamie Malarkey fight is off, so we'll look deeper into that. Andre Arlovsky's fighting, Daniel Santos, Johnny Munoz, couple of decent fights here, but let's dive right into basically the fights that kind of stick out most to me. Starting with the main event, Kai Kara France is coming in his first main event here. I know he's had a co-main event spot before, especially last time out when he fought Brandon Moreno for the interim belt. Unfortunately, didn't win that fight there, but Brandon Moreno, he's pretty much the best guy in the flyweight division at the moment, so he's getting another bounce back against another very tough opponent here in Albazi. Albazi is kind of like the boogeyman besides Makayev of the flyweight division right now. He's definitely got some steam behind him, in my opinion. I know he's 16-1, just beat Costa in his last fight, so this is definitely quite the step up for Albazi, but notoriously flyweight has been known to be a bit of a shallow division there, but it's nice to see that other than Figgy and Moreno fighting for the belt, we got Pantoja and Moreno coming up here towards the I would say within the next month, July 8th, I think, International Fight Week, their co-main event under Yair and Volkanovski. But, this guy here, he's kind of known as just a grinder, Albazi. Last win, TKO, third round. Win before that, going to win over the other Figgy, submission in the first round. Fight before that, got a decision win over Zumagulov. So I know Kai Kara France is more of a household name. The odds do reflect that this is pretty even matchmaking. They're both a minus 110 going into this one. So, something like that. I hope Kai Kara France gets it done. I've been a fan of his for a while there since the Ultimate Fighter days that he was on with Cejudo and Benavidez as coaches. So hopefully he can get it done again because I like seeing Kai Kara France win. And I think he's probably one of the most exciting guys in the flyweight division that they have currently at the moment. But nonetheless, Alex Caceres is back going against Daniel Pineda, both coming off pretty big wins. I know Caceres just had that nasty head kick KO against Julian Erosa, and then Daniel Pineda did have that slick submission win not too long ago when he fought Tucker Lutz. So, this is kind of a striker versus grappler. Daniel Pineda, though, has a 100% finishing rate in all of his wins. Doesn't have a single, how would you say, decision win, only decision losses, but 9 wins by knockout, 19 wins by submission. It's a pretty big discrepancy by 10. And then Alex Caceres, we've known him for a while now. He's fought the who's, the Uriah Fabers and whatnot, but I'm interested to see this fight because I think Alex Caceres, who's been in the UFC for so long, and it's kind of where he made his name was in the UFC. He wasn't necessarily known as the best fighter out there, but he's definitely grown up in the UFC there, and I think he has gotten a lot better with his age and has gotten more mature as well too. Speaking of maturity though, Jim Miller, my bad, Alex Caceres is a minus 175, Pineda is a plus 150, which is the way I'm leaning anyways, because I know Pineda's a good striker, and he's durable, but he's got that knockout loss against Cub Swanson. I think Alex Caceres is a little bit more of a dynamic striker than Cub Swanson in certain degrees, but nonetheless, Moving on to the next fight, Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon here. Jim Miller is a plus 160 going in against minus 190 Jared Gordon. I know Jared Gordon had that unfortunate fight with Bobby Green that was basically got knocked out with an illegal shot and then turned into a no contest because it was basically a headbutt. So with something like that, I'd like to see him get back on the horse. But Jim Miller also got a good win over, or had a tough fight against Alex Hernandez. That was kind of a tougher fight for him there because, I mean, it was pretty close. I believe it was a split decision, if I have to make sure. Oh, unanimous decision for Alex Hernandez. I believe watching that fight, I thought it was maybe a split. But either way, I mean, a guy against Alex Hernandez who's significantly younger than you, and you're able to drag him out to a decision. It was a good fight, though. So, I mean, part of me wants to go with Jim Miller here. I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to make money while the sun is still up. Because I mean, he's been in the UFC for a long, long time, ladies and gentlemen here, and I don't think he's got much longer in this sport. So hopefully he gets another win. Bye, fiance. Drive safe. They see me in the back patio. I love you. I don't think she heard me, but it's all right. Either way, still a pretty good fight card that we got going on. Tim Elliott versus Victor Alamatariano. Tim Elliott, feel bad for this guy because I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, especially MMA Twitter, but he dropped a big old bomb about his ex-wife, Gina Mazzani, and yeah, that's unfortunate, man. So I'm rooting for Tim Elliott because his wife apparently, or ex-wife now, apparently cheated on him the night of their wedding with his training partner, Kevin Kroom. I don't know about you, man, but I'd be pretty upset if that was me. So I hope he, I hope he gets this win just to get a post-fight speech because we all know Tim Elliott's known for he's a character, man. I mean, who remembers that one fight against what was his name? Let me try and find it. I remember this fight because he was literally calling the guy a woman beater in the middle of the fight. I know the guy's name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but oh shit, did they get rid of it? Huh. It's not on his fight history, but there was a time, I forgot the guy's name, but he was beating the shit out of him on the ground and calling him a woman beater and shit like that for allegations of him beating up his girlfriend or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Tim Elliott there. I hope he gets it done. But Victor Almantaro, I mean, he's got that win over Salvador back on the Chito Vera versus Sandhagen card. He's also got that knockout win over Lacerda. He did lose his debut against Hernandez by split decision, but I mean the kid's good. I mean, he looks super young. That's why I'm calling him a kid. But yeah, I mean he's 12-2, Magnifico. That's his fight name. I'm excited to see how he does. His striking is a little unorthodox there. It's kind of like not necessarily sloppy. I don't even know how you would describe it there. It's fun to watch. I mean, he's just a fun guy to watch. Sorry if I'm a little bit rusty. I mean, I haven't done one of these in like a week now, or more than a week. But Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Dos Santos. Now, we all know Dos Santos for wheel kicking Sean Strickland into the middleweight division. So, yeah, let's just say this is definitely a striker versus a grappler. I mean, you got Dos Santos, who's known for his capoeira, and Nurmagomedov, known for his last name, basically. So we already know if your last name ends in OV, you're going to be on the ground, more than likely. Yeah, I mean, this fight has potential to be really good, or it has potential to be very boring. So we'll see how it actually plays out. Their odds are minus 110 apiece, so I mean, it's pretty even based off what the matchmakers are saying, or at least what Vegas is saying. But I would say Dos Santos probably got the edge on the feet, I would have to say there. And I mean, if he can stuff the takedowns, which he has done in the past, it's not like he's getting taken down every single fight by like these guys that aren't necessarily known as grapplers. I know Nurmagomedov is kind of known as a grappler, even though he's well-rounded as well too, might I add. But in this kind of case here, I could really see Dos Santos getting it done on the feet there, which I hope, because I'm a fan of his. I like Dos Santos. I think he's fun as hell. I don't know if this fight is actually happening or not, but Jamie Mullarkey versus Mohammadjan Naimov from Tajikistan. So it's probably, maybe it's a late replacement because I think Malarkey was supposed to fight somebody else. But regardless of that, Jamie Malarkey, Australian. Maybe this isn't a short notice fight because just based off the odds, Naimov is a minus 325. Malarkey's a plus 270 there. So someone's got Malarkey as the underdog right now. So I don't know who Naimov is. They don't have a picture of him on the UFC's website, which is what I'm looking at. So I don't recognize the name or anything. So we'll see who this cat is on Saturday. But Jamie Malarkey is always fun to watch. John Castaneda versus Muyan Gafioro. Castaneda, he's got some decent wins. I know he does have that knockout loss where he was arguably winning the fight against Santos there. Then has a submission win over Miles Johns and then a knockout win over Eddie Wineland there. So, I mean, he's 2-1 in his last 3, which, I mean, not bad. But I also love his fight name. It's probably one of the best fight names ever, is Sexy Mexi. So, yeah, I'm a fan just based off that. Then you got a couple of heavyweights. This fight's either going to be absolute dog shit or someone's going to get knocked out very quickly. Dontel Mays is going to be taking on Andrei Arlovsky. Arlovsky is a plus 105. Dontel Mays is a minus 125 now. I want to go with Andrei Arlovsky in this one because, I mean, he's like, what, 40-something now, and he's still doing the damn thing. He's still in the UFC. He was the former champ back in the 2000s, I think it was. So, I mean, I hope he gets it done because, man, I do love me some Andrei Arlovsky. Let's just say that. And Dontel Mays, yeah, I think Andre's just collecting checks right now. I know he's not getting to a title shot anytime soon, especially at his age with the caliber of people he's fighting. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere really, but I always love seeing Andrei Arlovsky. The aforementioned Daniel Santos is also fighting Johnny Munoz on this card here. Daniel Santos, like we all said, he was known for knocking out Castaneda, Sexy Mexi, in his last fight with that knee up the middle. People were starting to call him Mini Charles Oliveira, which he does kind of resemble. And then Johnny Munoz as well, too. Johnny Munoz is no punk either. Got his last win over Shaolinan. See, it's half these names at, like, flyweight and bantamweight and whatnot. Like, if they're unranked, like, it's hard to remember them sometimes. Like, I could see their face and I know them. It's just remembering the name and putting a face to the name in the last fight. You know, I don't have to explain myself to you. Whatever. Elise Reed, Junyun Fry. Okay. I also forgot to mention Kyrene Silva versus Ketlin Souza. That's on your main card. Yeah, we're really getting blessed with this card. And then next weekend, oh boy. Yeah. But, there's a bug on my table. Fuck out of here. Damon Blackshear versus Luan Lacerda. Blackshear is kind of a hit and miss here and there. I mean, he's got one win by knockout. His last fight was Basharat, and the fight before that was a draw against Yusuf Zalal. Not a great start for his UFC run, if I may say so. But Luan Lacerda, if he gets a win over this guy, it gives him a little bit more steam. I know his last fight he did lose against Cody Stamann, but yeah, I mean, he only has one fight in the UFC. This is his second fight, so we'll see how he does. Felipe Lins and Maxim Grisham, excuse me. That's a weird name to have and be Russian. Maxim Grisham. I saw the Russian flag and I'm like, is that right? But he definitely looks Russian, that's for sure. But Felipe Lins, I mean, this guy's got bombs in his hand and hair that I am jealous of. He last win got a knockout over Oven St. Preux, OSP. Sucks to be OSP right now. Such a fan of him when I was in high school. But Max Grisham ain't no punk either. I mean, he's 32-9. Last fight was a win. I mean, he's 6'3", regardless. I mean, Felipe Lins is 6'2". But, is this a heavyweight or light heavyweight? I think this is light heavyweight because I think they're using Felipe Lins' last fight, which was probably short notice at heavyweight. He was 211. So he's probably cutting down to 205. So, I mean, 6 pounds when you're a professional fighter, that ain't shit. But, I don't know if it's just me, guys, but I've been missing the UFC lately. So this card, even though it's complete dog shit when you look at just the name value, I feel like we're going to be getting a good fight card. I mean, we all made fun of the Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill card. I did. I certainly did. I thought that card was going to be absolute shit, but it ended up being a lot better than we all expected. The only fight that I know is going to be absolute shit is going to be the Kyrene Silva and Ketlin Souza, because we don't know who they are. And I'm probably going to eat those words on Saturday when it goes to fucking two brawling ladies that go out there and duke it out. So if I am wrong, I'll be surprised, but I'll be happy. Because I'll admit when I'm wrong, because usually when I'm wrong, I'm talking shit about people. And they prove me wrong in the best way possible by being entertaining. So hopefully that is the case for that one. But overall, I mean, if I had to build a parlay, I mean, stay away from Kai Kara France and Amir Albazi. I mean, the odds are just dog shit in that one. Alex Caceres, probably get him on that parlay. Probably throw a Jim Miller on there as well, too. And I mean, Tim Elliott. Throw Tim Elliott on there. And who knows? I mean, if you want to really spice it up, throw a heavy underdog in it. Not heavy, but throw an underdog on there. Jamie Malarkey, put him on there by decision. Maybe even a Johnny Munoz. Who knows? I think maybe I think Daniel Santos is maybe getting a little bit more hype than what is deserved, just because his last fight was a come from behind knockout. But that's the key word, is come from behind. I mean, he did have to dig deep there to get the win. But overall, I'm excited for this card here. It's kind of a weird video probably. It's probably not the same flow they're used to if you watch, because it's been so long since I've done one of these. And when I say so long, it's been like a week and a half. But for me, I've just been itching to have a UFC card back so I can do more of these. So hopefully this card is good. The next one is good. Start putting more and more of these out. But yeah, I mean, if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at SeeingRedMMA. But you know what, guys? Other than that, like I always say, have yourself a great rest of your day. Until next time, peace.